Hi everyone, so I am back again. I've decided that I think I'm gonna do a super awesome, cool vlog. Basically, it's just pretty much gonna be about me ranting and raving about movies. I don't know if anybody is familiar or if they even remember it, but I actually used to have a podcast, and it was with me and my Biff, and turned around, pretty much ended because scheduling conflicts. Sorry, I've been sick, but it was basically just like a tech podcast where we pretty much just talked about video games and talked about some movies and like we tried to throw in some stupid current events or something like that. So I am ditching that notion and just going to talk about what I feel like talking about. So here's your warning, if you don't care for my opinion on most times, you're probably not going to care for my opinion now. So, yeah. Um, First thing, I did the biggest mistake ever. I wound up deciding to use one of our free movie passes to watch Paranormal Activity 3. Yeah. Um, Pretty much what can I say about this movie? In all honesty, they tried to go for that whole Blair Witch thing, and when I watched the first movie, it it was the real movie, but apparently they had three different endings for this movie, and the one that I wound up watching was actually the bootleg version of where the girl pretty much, you know, kills the boyfriend and then she goes up in her room and she's just like going into, these, I don't know how to describe it, like rocking herself back and forth trying to comfort herself because she just killed her boyfriend. And then the police come in, and I guess the wicked evil demon that's attached to her decided to slam a door, and the cops shot her. And that's how the version I saw ended. And yeah, pretty much I was like, okay, well, that's total BS. Said, for the fact that they wouldn't have opened fire on her, I was like, and they wouldn't have done this and they wouldn't have done that. I was like, oh yeah, this is totally fake. And then it was, yeah, I just thought it was terrible. And then I finally seen the real version long after it was released from theaters, actually on Netflix, so that tells you how long it took me to actually watch the real movie of it. And actually, with the second one, I watched that just because at the time I was pregnant and I was like, oh, I couldn't imagine a ghost messing with my kids, so maybe it will be better. So watch that. Turns out just as bad. So dumb Shannon, of where Katie, and for some reason they feel the need to have the girl play Katie in every single one. And in all honesty, the girl's not a very good actor. I don't think she's very good looking. I know, oh, who am I to judge? I'm Shannon. But it's just, to me personally, that's not somebody I would want to have to constantly see to carry over in three movies, I guess. But whatever. Um, the third one, I don't know what came over me to just feel the need to watch it. I'm like, got a free pass, it's a horror movie, let me go ahead and give it a try. Maybe it will get creepy. Because in all honesty, I'm not gonna lie, when I sleep in my room at night, I usually don't like leaving the door open too often. I'm just one of those people. And in all three of these movies, that's all you see are these doors wide open. And it's like, you know, they're dealing with a newborn baby, doors wide open. And it's like, dude, I guess you're not too familiar with newborn babies, but usually, if you walk the wrong way to the bathroom, it's up, you know, and you're not getting any sleep, you're not getting what you need. So, why would you leave that door open? It's just like my 15-month-old child right now. You know, I've got to make sure that her door is closed at night, so us just going to bed and turning on our hallway lights not going to wake her up. And yeah, so that's the problem with the second one. And you know, then the first one, it's like, oh, there's this stuff walking around making banging noises. And there was powder with hoof prints in it, but I'm still gonna sleep with my bedroom door open. Sorry, I know it's stupid of me to say it. If there was a ghost in the house, oh, what's the big deal about it just floating through the door or whatever? But I still wouldn't have the bedroom door open. You know, that's just me. You know, I just think it's so dumb. I don't know. And then, like, you know, they always do that same stupid stuff of, why are you still recording this? I want to make sure I document it. And it'd be like, asshole, get the camera out my face. You know? And it's just these women that are like, I'm just tired of you filming this. Stop. You know, and it drives me nuts. It's just so stupid. And it shortly becomes not believable quickly into the movies. Like, you know, the point of me not believing, I think, the first paranormal activity was, I think, around the time with, like, having the guy come in and, you know, just him doing whatever, and then telling her that she should get a demonologist, and the guy's like, oh no, let me videotape. And it's like, okay, well, if you were that concerned with demons, yeah. And then it was the whole part of with the exorcism, of where it showed the pictures of the girl going through like an exorcism. Now, the only reason I know that that was completely fake is because I am very twisted, and I've actually watched like the exorcism where it was supposed to be like the exorcism of Emily Rose, but her name was Annalise. And I've actually watched that exorcism, and they didn't have video footage of it. And yeah, you know, and I think that that's what they were trying to base that one off of. But the problem with Annalise is that she didn't chew her arm off and bleed to death. She died of malnutrition. So yeah, that was bullshit there. And you know, it was just certain other aspects. And like I said, why I decided to watch number three, I have no clue. But to me, it was it was kind of dumb. The ending was terrible. It was just completely stupid and kind of unoriginal. And you know, yeah, they had so many loopholes in it that yeah, I mean, you could drive a truck through these loopholes. And it's like, spoiler, if you haven't watched it and you plan on watching it, turn the video off now. Or fast forward. But, okay, like I said, number one. Alright. Katie, in the first movie, calls her mother to ask her about the picture that she found in her attic. Okay, number one. Alright. And then it was something in number two where they actually took and they talked about when they were kids that Katie was the one that was getting harassed by the demon. It wasn't Chrissy getting harassed by the demon. Where in number three, it is Chrissy who is talking to the demon. It is Chrissy who promised her womb to the demon. Then it was what else was it? It was Katie was the oldest child, so evidently, like, Chrissy turns out to be the eldest child in number two because Katie is still in college, where Chrissy is graduated and married and doing whatever. So, I mean, given it might be different because of, you know, the fact of whatever, but, you know, that's just some little points I'm just pointing out there. And then it's like, you know, they were sitting there talking about their house burned down. That's a big factor because in number three, the house never burnt down. And, it's kind of like one of those things of, huh? So, you're expecting the house to eventually burn down and it never burns down. And then it's like, it shows Katie basically turning into some kind of demon at the bottom of the stairs whenever this boyfriend of the mother tries to get in there and get the girls out because they're in the house where the grandmother's doing some kind of voodoo ritual and controlling the demon. Okay, so they're doing that, and that's fine. But you know, why is Katie a demon? Katie wasn't possessed by this demon until she was in her 20s, where her sister supposedly magically turned around this demon possession onto Katie, where Katie still came back and stole the baby. So it's like, okay, you notice that there's an issue here. But yeah, whatever. Anyway, on to the next subject. Now, since I've messed up my blog and put 11 minutes onto how much I can't stand paranormal activity and why I subject myself to paranormal activity. And I'm not gonna lie, whenever I want to fall asleep, I'll turn on paranormal activity. So that tells you about me. But on to the next subject. So wound up taking and watching Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, and I'm probably not gonna have enough time to go into detail about that because I'm a dumbass. But Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, I really liked the American version. I really liked the Swedish version. I don't like the portrayal of what they did with Lisbeth, though, because in the Swedish version, Lisbeth is very, very kick-ass. She's very hardcore, and that's really cool to me, okay? The only problem that I can't stand is that in both versions of the movie, how Lisbeth's computer gets destroyed differs, because in the book, her computer gets ran over. In both movies, she's attacked by a gang of guys, and, laptop falls, smashes. In the American version, some guy just tries to swipe it, she steals it back from him, and then she slides down an escalator. It doesn't exactly explain how it got broken in that way. But whatever. And, I don't like how Lisbeth, who was rugged, hardcore, nasty bitch. And the Swedish version all of a sudden becomes the biggest freaking pussy in the American version. Now, if you're somebody that's watched both, you'll know that in the Swedish version, Michael or Mikkel was actually the one that was more attached to Lisbeth. And in the American version, it's reversed. Lisbeth's extremely attached to Mikkel. And it was like, in the Swedish version, yeah, she cared for him, she screwed him, whatever. But in the American version, oh no, it was an ongoing thing, and she was madly in love with him, and he hurt her feelings, even though she knew that he was with Erica or whatever. And even in the American version, she even said something about, oh, well, you screw Erica and that works out for you. And, yeah, so she knew that he was already in the relationship. But in the Swedish version, yeah, she has a little bit of an attachment to him. It's not a hardcore attachment to him of where she's gonna break down sobbing because he lied to her and he's with his original little girlfriend, Erica. And Robin Wright, what happened to Buttercup? I don't know what kind of plastic surgery you're doing, but please stop. You are looking rough. Anyway, that's pretty much all I have time for. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, I highly recommend both versions. But, I'm going to say you should watch the American version first before you watch the Swedish version. Because, to me, the Swedish version is much better. The American version is very David Fincher-ish. But I don't have any more time. Maybe I'll go back over it again. I really want to go over video games, but like I said, paranormal activity took up too much of my time. Bye.